Geometry Lesson 3.3 Slopes of Lines. I am Anil Kumar, and in this video we are going to explore the basic definition of slope. The question here is, given a point P minus 3, 7, find the coordinates of a point Q so that the line segment PQ has each slope. So we have four parts. So what we are given here is a point P, and we need to find coordinates of point Q. So let's say this is our point Q, right? So point P is given to us and the coordinates are minus 3, 7. We need to find point Q. Let us assume the coordinates are x and y, so that the slope of this segment PQ is 3. That is the first part, or it is minus 0.5, minus 3 over 4, or 1.5. In each case, we have to find the coordinates of point Q. So that is the exercise for you. You can pause the video, answer the question. And I'll try to explain you here how from the definition we can get the coordinates of Q. Now, as you know, what is slope? Slope is the ratio of change along y-axis to the change along x-axis between any 2 points. So when I say that the slope is equal to 3, then I'm trying to say that the change along y over change along x is 3, right? So we can say 3 over 1, correct? So if I have to find slope between P and Q, it means the coordinate values of Q for y should be 3 more than P, and for x 1 more than P, right? So you can get the new coordinate values. Now here P is minus 3 and 7. So y is 3 more. So what we can do here is we can add 3 to y value. So the change will be 3, and we can add 1 to the x value to get Q. Do you understand? And then we can get point Q. So the point Q will be minus 3 plus 1, which is minus 2, and 7 plus 3, which is 10. You get an idea, right? So now you can see 10 minus 7 is 3, and minus 2 minus 3 is 1. And therefore slope between P and Q is 3. And that is how we can find point Q. We'll apply this technique once again so that we really understand the concept. Now in part B, we have minus 0.5, that is to say that the slope is minus half. 0.5 is half. Now in this case, we know that the coordinates of point P are minus 3 and 7. But what do we need? We need coordinates of point Q. How can we get that? Slope is minus half. That means change in y is minus 1, change in x is plus 2. So if we do that, we get the coordinates of Q. Coordinates of Q will be, let's add 2 to minus 3, so we'll get minus 1, and let's add minus 1 to 7. We get 6. So in this case, the coordinate of Q should be minus 1 and 6. Check it out yourself. Do you get slope of minus half? Right? Let's do the next one. Now, in next one, what are we saying? We are saying that the change in y is, we could say change in y in this case as minus 3 and change in x as 4. Starting from point P, which is minus 3, 7. So, let's incorporate this change. Y is minus 3, x is plus 4, right? So we get the point Q, and point Q for us should be minus 3 plus 4 is plus 1, and 7 minus 3 is 4. So that is the coordinate. The last one. If I say that the slope is 1.5, it means 1.5, right? That means let's convert to fractions. It is easier sometimes, right? So that is to say it is 3 over 2. So now we can say point P for us is minus 3 and 7, that is given to us. Point Q, x value should be 2 more, plus 2, and y should be 3 more. And then if we add these values, we get point Q. Point Q is minus 3 plus 2 as 1 and 7 plus 3 is 10. So these are our answers, right? So in the first case, we get point Q as minus 2, 10. In the second case, as minus 3, minus 1, 6. In C, Q is 1 and 4. And in D, Q is 1 and 10. You can check slope for each just to verify, but I hope you understand and appreciate the method by which we got the coordinates of point Q, right? So the basic concept here is, to these coordinates x and y, right, slope is rise over run, so you add delta y to this value, right? So we add delta y, and then you add delta x to the delta x value, right? So you do this delta x for x value to get Q, right? So what are the coordinates of Q? Q coordinates will be minus 3 plus delta x, that is change in x value, and y value will be 7 plus change in y value. Those are your new coordinates, and that is how you can get any other point Q in such a case. I'm Anil Kumar. You can subscribe to my videos and learn a lot about this topic. Thank you and all the best.